Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good Tuesday in the market. It's 3:21. We'll be closing in about 40 minutes. Tuesday, August 10th. We're going to talk about option plays, a couple different day trades I did today with options. Talk about GameStop, TA, technical analysis on GameStop, the market. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Here's our Twitter if you want to follow us on here at HappyMoneyYT. And we have a Discord too where we chat and I shout out news that I hear and go through some plays on there. So here's ORF. We'll talk about ORF in just a minute. SPY today though, a lot of velocity on SPY. It was moving pretty quickly kind of later in the day, which was interesting. It wasn't just in the first hour, but this whole move up here was with some velocity, and then even here this was it was moving quick, like basically like it was acting on news, but there wasn't any news that I saw. However, this is showing to me that it's just basically less stable. The fact that we didn't break a new high either after we did break all-time high right there in the morning. Yippee. SPY all-time high again. Almost forgot. Wow, look at that double doji. Almost forgot, but after that happened, we had a pretty violent sell-off at really down to here. And then this is actually EU close, European close. We rallied after that, and then we've just kind of been flat the rest of the day. The volume today though was pretty low also, which was maybe part of the reason that this sell-off didn't kind of continue and it held up. It's just there wasn't a whole lot of volume to support the move. I guess the tech companies were kind of pulling the SPY down. But on the chart, yeah, it's setting up for a nice bearish reversal. Really, we've got this MACD that's turned bearish now for say 2 days, so this will be the second day on that. I mean, our candlesticks, so we've got these green over the 9 moving, which that's bullish, and it's definitely diverging from this MACD. It's kind of doing the same thing it did back here, but just with a little bit bigger bodied candles. However, now our momentum is bearish according to the moving average convergence divergence. GME ticking up right there. The 1 trillion infrastructure bill passed the Senate. I think it's going to the House right now. We'll hear about that after. I'm not sure how that'll affect the market tomorrow. It could be a sell the news type thing, or it could make the SPY do all-time highs again. On the daily, typically small bodied doji, or any time, but as you see here on the daily, typically that's a sign of a reversal, especially when you get a few of them. See if there's any examples here where it's kind of a top. The long doji there, that was strong support, it pulled it up. See, here's one, didn't really do much reversal. SPY's been so manipulated though. Typically though, if you have that at the end of a run, and there's other indicators of course, that's going to signify a top or a bottom. So we've got a few of these last 3 days now, depending on how today closes. But that's meaning, I mean, yeah, it's still looking like it wants to come down. So just keeps kind of getting held up here. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Anyways, GameStop today, they had 900,000 shares. They cooked back in the kitchen yesterday at some point and borrowed them all this morning. So that allowed most likely this somewhat of red price action day on GME. Came back up to 250,000 shares that they have here coming into the last half hour. We will talk about some TA on here though. So on the hourly, remember we were looking as bullish. We've got the bullish MACD, everything looks good. We've got this kind of a bull flag. And then yesterday I was saying for today we're gonna come up and get close to that moving average. I thought maybe 170 and then come down, and it actually did it kind of exactly what I was saying. We kind of ripped up in the morning, and then they just kind of shorted it down. So I was predicting that basically just because of this little action we did back here. We stayed in our downward trend, our downward kind of pattern, and just kind of came up to the moving average as a resistance. and then it kind of came down from that. So I think we're kind of just repeating this right here. Now, if we will continue to come down and make new lows, I'm not certain yet. MACD on the hourly now is bearish. We do have red under the 9 moving average, so I actually opened up some bearish plays today. It's kind of in and out of them actually twice. So around somewhere around here, I opened up. I basically sold calls to the shares I own, and then actually, what did I do? I actually bought some puts, and then I closed them out. Or actually, maybe it was up here somewhere, because I actually made a few $100s just on that. And then I closed them out here, and then I did it again down here once this hourly MACD turned bullish. So once this closed at 230, and that candle closed on the hourly, I opened up more bearish plays, even though it was at the bottom and really not the best time. I was just waiting for that candle to close. So I literally opened up right here at the bottom, bearish plays. Now we've come up since then, which is fine. We'll probably come up to VWAP right here, 160 or so by close. I'm still bearish on it tomorrow morning. I think we will probably retest this 150, maybe the 145 area, and find a support, hopefully. Now on the daily on here, we're teetering back and forth on a bullish MACD crossover depending on where we close. We have 30 minutes left. If we do close up at VWAP, which it seems like we will, then it'll be a bullish crossover on the MACD, which is good. That to me means we won't be making new lows off this 145. This will hold as a support for now until something else changes. But if it doesn't close bullish, we'll have to just see tomorrow, and we might continue this downward channel, and then that'd set us up for maybe a 135 support. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I still feel like this could be a support, and today it looks like it's probably going to be a bullish crossover. And then if it's looking like this, that's reminding me a lot of actually back here. So just to be hopeful of this kind of price action. I'm not certain it's going to rally. I feel like we're probably going to come back down, so it's going to be more like some of this action and then a rally, which would put this move into next week at the earliest. But having this bullish crossover here, and then if we have another bullish crossover, and then we kind of do one more dip down and retest, which will probably take the rest of the week. We figure this will be today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and then look for Monday. Monday might be this day for Monday, which will be the beginning of the bull run. That's kind of what it's looking like just according to TA, which would be, that'd be the 16th. And but if you look back here, that didn't really produce a whole lot. We really just retested highs. So that would be probably retesting 174, maybe this 190, 180, maybe up here by next week. But we go off of what we've done before, which is always the last week in the month. We're going to be coming up to that last week again. So this rally here started on the 24th, went into the second or the first week on the first week of the new month. This rally in January started the last week and went into the first week. This rally here, this was the last week in March, went into the first week of the next month. So if it is waiting on that, and it's possible it is, you can look at the dates here as far as how many days from a drop here to a rally here, drop here. We are at that point right here. So there's that, where it's possible we'll start this. And then that would also coincide because this is the 11th. So it looks a lot like we're right here. This is just looking back at historical charts, or chart pattern, I guess. Just looking at the TA here, it actually lines up with that somewhat. I'm thinking maybe we retest, but it's possible we don't. It's possible we just have this kind of melt up and then a consolidation for a couple days and then a rip. And I'll be keeping an eye on that for sure. Today and the next couple days we'll kind of decide what's going to go on here. But yeah, on the hourly it's bearish, so I'm thinking tomorrow at least towards the beginning of the day, we're gonna be coming down some, and then we'll see what happens after that. If it just stays flat, or yeah, it depends on how much we come down. Maybe we'll come down to 150 or 145 and then stay flat. But yeah, so this daily, that's going to be the indicator for me for today. One in market close in 30 minutes. If this is bullish, I feel like we're going to hold the support. If it stays bearish, I'm going to keep an eye on the next couple days to see if we break this support. I'll be thinking we will, probably more. And then if you look at the overall market, with the SPY potentially selling off, that will probably bring GME down initially. So it's having a little rip up here, back up to VWAP. We go over the plays we did today. Unfortunately, yeah, I got into my covered call too early on this. I knew it was early. I had patience to wait for that candle to close on the hourly, but that was just right at the bottom, so wrong time to open that play up. But I still have the same thought this will be bearish tomorrow, at least in the morning. So I'll hold it, unless if, I mean, this could just cross back over. It's unusual and unlikely, but it's possible. Yeah, so we did some day trading on the different options. So right now, here's those covered calls I said that I opened. So unfortunately, wow, those are down 42%. So those are covered calls on the shares I own, and I actually sold those earlier today. We made like $200 or $300 on them. I bought them back and resold them just after that candle closed because I thought it was gonna be bearish longer. And now we'll just wait it out tomorrow, see what happens with those. I opened up a put credit spread today, which is actually bullish, and that is a 152.5, 155, and that's when we were bullish on the MACD on the daily, and I thought we'd probably close today bullish, and it seems like we will on the MACD. So I think that play will maybe be fine. That's a 155 strike. It has to be above by Friday. So yeah, we'll see about that. But what I did was I bought back one of the puts in that spread. So basically I gave myself a long put that I own now, this 152.5, and it added it to my short put that I have. So the long put, yeah, tomorrow when we hit a bottom, I'm gonna probably close this long put. It's up 3% now. I'll probably close that, and then we'll just have the short put left. And then depending on if it's gonna come back up, we'll see what happens then. But today I was doing a lot more kind of scalping, day trading on these options, and it's when it comes to the end of the week and stuff starts expiring and margin, and then I'm like, wow, this is confusing. But right now I have a pretty good handle on what's going on. So here's my put credit spread. I've got 5 of them, and that's bullish. And then I did open up actually calls today. I think I'm early on them. I'm kind of anticipating it. What's nice is if this covered call expires worthless, which is this one, that's $1,700 credit. If that expires worthless, that will pretty much pay for these long calls I bought, these naked long calls, $1,900. These are for September 3rd. So that goes on that thesis that GME could run in the last week of the month, and then into the next week of the new month. And when it'll start, I don't know. This one started on the 11th. Today is the 10th on this one. So I just wanted to get into it now, especially if this bullish MACD crossover continues. This isn't going to up the premium a whole lot, but this will do some. So if we have this coming up, then I'll be glad I got into those calls. So I gave myself more time on that. I did end up paying a pretty big premium for that, of course. I got 315, mostly because of option chain. This had the best ask. It was actually cheaper than the ones further out the money. Got 9 of them. And then, of course, got all our short puts that we sold, and now put credit spread. And that's the GME mess I did today. SPY, I opened up a call credit spread for tomorrow, and puts. When it was doing this move, I was like, okay. And I think it's still good because we're making lower highs here on the 5-minute, and on the hourly again. Actually, look, we're gonna have a red candle under the 9 moving average most likely by close. So that'll be another indicator for me showing it's bearish for tomorrow. So this should be all right. Call credit spread 44, 443, 444, 444. Yeah, we're in it now, so it should be good. SPX, the spreads are pretty wide, and it's just a little more difficult, so I'm going to just do SPY right now. I don't have a whole lot of buying power. And then I do have 439 puts. I got a few of those. We just had velocity earlier, and I thought, I want some just naked puts on that thing, because it could drop pretty violently. And then CFLT, so that was a play we called out. They ran, and I actually got out of my calls today. Not a perfect exit, but pretty good. Where'd I get out? I got out right about here. So ran up a little bit more and then kind of chilled out. And it's probably over for now. Might just consolidate, or it might even come down some. It'll probably just consolidate in this range. Probably this 145, maybe to 50. We sold a put on our long term, and I actually closed that out because it was up 90%. So I do want to have this in a long term, and that's why I'm selling puts on it. That is that one. ECVT I closed out, so that was the dividend trap, potentially, kind of like McAfee. Actually rallied today. I wasn't sure. It's just this chart wasn't speaking to me too much. I could have held that longer though. So yeah, ex-dividend is tomorrow, so I think you have to actually have the shares by today. So that will probably sell off. I'd imagine puts, maybe I should get some puts today before close with the premium. Just it's not very liquid on here. Maybe a call credit spread on here. So yep, close out of that one. Little gain, not too crazy. GME, I told you all that. ORF, we caught ORF early. This is a good reason to be on our Discord. I'll show you. This one's on my watch list just because I've seen it run like crazy. Went from like $1 to $77 as a biotech company. These get a little hint of news and they go crazy, but they're just pumping up so real quick. So typically, unless something sticks, then then it's great. This one, let me see. I put it in hot news. No, I just actually put it in the general chat. Typically I put stuff in hot news if there's news on it. I didn't see any news on it, but I just knew this thing had a history of running. So I caught it right about here and I put it in chat. I just type in ORF and then I'll show you guys the trade ideas. So right here I put in August ORF 7.5 calls. Typically on such a cheap stock, I just buy shares. I didn't want to spend the capital to do that, so I just bought calls. I don't know how many I got, I'll show you, but that was at 11.57. Which here's 11.55, so it's basically at the beginning of this candle right here. I got $7.50 calls. I got them for 10 cents, and when this thing was up here, they were worth up here they were worth $1. So it was 1,000% play. I didn't bottom ticket and top ticket, so I didn't get 1,000% on it. We did pretty well on it though. Let's see. It was, oh, you can't even see that. Whoops. So here, 10 cents, I bought 9 August 20th, 1750 calls. And then I sold 5 for 23 cents. Yes, I sold them before that second run. Sold another one at 26. Sold 3 more at 20. And it actually ended up going to almost $1. Went to like 90 cents. So I sold it at this, when it flattened out right here. I sold them because it's such a pumping number. Sold them here, almost got back in, but exercise some discipline and let this one run. But yeah, my calls from here are actually what, 4x, 3x, because they went from like 20 something cents almost up to a dollar. So that one wasn't bad. Let's see. So here's CFLT. That was the calls, just the remaining calls. The other calls already sold for break even. Here's the ORF, and then Astra. We have a debit spread on that. It's doing well. Weird to see SPY in green. And then of course GME, because we hold a bunch of shares. And let's see, GME morph, and that's it. Yeah, those were the plays, those were the moves. SPY's hanging out right at VWAP. GME hasn't made it there yet. I feel like it probably will in the next 20 minutes. And that will mean we'll still be bearish on the MACD and the candles for the hourly, which is kind of short term. That can be intraday. action. On the daily, we will still be bearish except for the MACD. So that just shows that it's slowing down that downward momentum. Doesn't mean that this is the bottom, but it gives better sign that it is. No green candles over the 9 though yet or anything like that on the daily. That's what I got for you guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. One last thing I forgot. If you made it this far, type cheers in the chat. And we were trying to figure out how many shares of GameStop people own. Do we own 5 times the float, 10 times the float? And I wanted to take a little survey on our little community. So I actually have a link. Mellow Magic put it out for you guys to take a survey. I will put it in the description of the video. I don't remember. I put a YouTube post on it, or you can get on our Discord and ask. I'm gonna come out with the results, let's see, tomorrow probably. So be honest with it, be truthful. That's the only way it's gonna work. But so far I've seen where the results are at, and it's pretty interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.